Okay, things should be working. Let's double check. View channel. Let's check the audio. Okay, looks like there's a delay of around 30 seconds or so, but it seems to be working at least. Let me grab the link and spam it all over the place. Okay. Everyone's streaming myself coding the cutscene maker on Twitch. Wait, no, not Twitch. YouTube. Why did I say Twitch? Major progress done earlier today, so it should be a great stream. Okay, now let me copy that, adjust it, and paste it all over the place. I don't know if they want me posting it there or here. Here I could do it under community events. I don't want to do it everyone because then they'll kill me. Coding the SAO cutscene maker on YouTube. Okay, that should be fine. Okay, they'll kill me. They'll kill me. They'll kill me. They will kill me. Here, I could post it here. He'll kill me. Post it under media. They don't care. Can I post it here? Yeah, I should be able to post it under videos or something. Yeah, videos. Here. Oh, I got a response or something. Or, no, just, okay. Okay, they don't care. I'll just post it here because one man doesn't usually seem to care. And let's see if I get some viewers. 3 people watching already. That's awesome. Okay, so before I start the actual stream, I want to show off something interesting. You might have noticed that right there that said Undertale. You're probably thinking, what's that? How come I have a save file called Undertale? Well, I got something interesting for you guys. Now, keep in mind that obviously I can't share this online unless I want to get arrested. But, basically, this is the actual source code, or at least seemingly the source code for Undertale itself. Now, I have no idea how legit this is, but looks pretty legit to me. If you're wondering how I got this, apparently it leaked out pretty recently, and someone was able to put it on GitHub, then got taken down a few times, and then Silka from my Discord server made me aware of this, and I downloaded it before it was taken down again. So this code seems to be pretty legit. I actually started going through it just so I could learn a few things about like how this guy made a game, simply because I'm still very, very new to coding in general. I've only been doing this for around 6 months, so my logic is if I could understand basically some of the aspects of Undertale, then what I could do from there is I could take that and I can use it in my own code. So obviously I'm not going to take Undertale and like remake it myself. That would be ridiculous and I'll probably get sued. But the entire point is, you know something, here this guy made the full game of Undertale. Let me see if I could understand some of the things that he used to actually make the game, and in order to improve my own projects. Obviously I'm not going to copy and paste his code, and most of his code is too complicated for me to really understand it in its full value, let alone anything else. But really, really interesting that right over here is the whole Undertale code. I'm pretty sure you could probably still find it online if you look for it, but obviously I will not be sharing it because I don't want to get killed. Yeah, but I made major progress earlier today with the SAO cutscene maker. Currently it's on version 1.0.16, and by major I mean I figured out the rest of the stinking project because my friend gave me a great suggestion. Is this thing gonna crash or what is going on? Piece of junk. Come on. You can do it. Come on. Do I have to kill it? Okay, I'm gonna kill it. Where is it here? Okay, let me just put on some music also. Wait, shoot. A dubstep thing of Love is War by Miku? Ah, come on, it refreshed the page. Whatever. I'll put this on. Here we go. Okay, Game Maker Studio 2. I'm only at 3 viewers, which isn't too much, but it is what it is. Whatever. I'm more just coding right now, and like I'm streaming so that way I could, like, for archival purposes, just like oh, you know something, here's how I actually made it. It's usually good to have some kind of archive of how you make your projects, and that's just my way of doing it. Documents, cutscene maker, and this is 1.0.16. So someone just commented, "Hi, first time watching one of your streams. How am I?" So yeah, I'm doing very good right now, considering the fact that I just made huge progress on this thing. I'll show you guys what I'm doing right now, actually. But yeah, really, really great today. Also, the funniest part is that because school is so useless, like, I'm in college and my college is so bad that I'm not learning anything. So I'm like, you know what, let me put in the bare minimum effort. And then while I'm in college, I'm like, you know something, what I'll do is I'll actually code my projects. So that's what I've been doing recently. So I got most of this coding done today. Like 90% of this, what you see on screen, was done today. And I'm just waiting for, like, the stream to catch up so you guys can see whatever. But it looks like a mess like this, but that's because this is like an hour and a half that I did all this, really. And the idea is that this is actually much, much better than the previous version. So for the one guy that's new, let me explain to you what this project is in case you aren't aware. The music is getting distracting, so let me just mute it. Okay. So the Sword Art Online Cutscene Maker program is an extension of my Hyperdimension Neptunia Cutscene Maker program. The idea is that it lets anyone create their own custom cutscenes of whatever series the Cutscene Maker is for. So with the Neptunia Cutscene Maker, that I've been working on for around 2.5, 3 years. The issue with that, and the issue I was running into, is the fact that Neptunia, I'll show you guys actually. Here we go. YouTube. I'll just show you guys real quick. Hyperdimension Neptunia. And here's the reference guide, whatever. Okay, so this is one of my fake... Wait, shoot, what the... How come my video... All I searched up is Neptunia. My thing was like one of the first... That's interesting, actually. That's amazing. Okay. I'll take it. But this is one of my fake cutscenes, the intro to this video. And as you can see, the models move. So even though this is a fake cutscene, this is functionally identical to the games. Now, when the models move, the issue is, how do you replicate that? Like, what's the best way to replicate something like the character models themselves moving? And for the longest time, I had no idea. So it originally started out just frame by frame, that I have a static character model I just grab off Google, put it in front of the thing. And in theory, if you could replicate each part of the cutscenes, I'll show you. So there's 3 essential parts to any visual novel cutscene: the background, the characters, and the text box. So if you could replicate all 3 of those, you could replicate the cutscene. Version 1.0, I'm like, okay, they literally give you the backgrounds in the gallery section. I'm already a third of the way there. The text, at the time at least, I was a moron, and I'm like, you know what, let me just take random, literally like this, I just took actual screenshots of the text, and I separated them letter by letter, and I had a giant mass file, and I one by one created a giant thing, and frame by frame did the text scroll. It was as tedious and annoying as it sounds, and trust me, it was annoying. Version 2.0, I'm like, you know what, the game is being rendered in a game engine. Obviously, in that case, I can get a simple game engine to replicate. It shouldn't be that hard. So I took someone else's code, adjusted it to suit my needs, because I was not very good at coding at the time. Still not very good at it, but I could do some basic stuff by this point. I know for the most part, at least the basics of how to code a simple program, like a text scroll program. And then from there, all it is the character models. But how do you replicate the character models in that case? So if it's a static character model, like let's say the models don't move, it's really as simple as just grabbing the PNGs. That could be as simple as, you know something, if I could rip it from the game, great, if it's on Sprite Resource. So if you don't know this site, Sprite Resource, you go on here, they have all kinds of sprites for basically every game, and it's really interesting. So if I search up Neptunia, you can see that they have tons of sprites for Neptunia, and by sprites, it has basically everything. So for Neptunia specifically, they have a lot of the CGs and they have basically everything, but for a lot of our games, it doesn't have everything. I actually just submitted some stuff for Sword Art Online recently, which is interesting. So if you go to SAO Lost Song, I just submitted a whole bunch of sprites for that because I was able to get my hands on them from someone. Should be right over here. So if we look at any one of these, submit our Arcane 100. But yeah, now the idea is that if you can, let's say they didn't move, it literally would be as simple as just grabbing the PNG for the thing and just sticking it right in there. Most visual novel games, the characters don't move, so Neptunia is actually very unique in that regard. But in order to replicate the motion, I have to figure out a way to get it to move, because obviously I could do some kind of GIF format, but that would still mean I'd have to grab the animations themselves. So there's multiple ways to go about that. The one way, and the absolute hardest way, would be to frame by frame mask out the background. You have absolutely no idea how tedious, annoying, and horrible that would be, so I didn't even bother attempting it. That would basically be like the version 1.0 where I went frame by frame for the letters on steroids. That would be, like, just to get one model done for a simple animation, that would take a month, minimum, let alone the fact that there's like 100 characters in the game. So, what's a better way to do it? I could probably, I don't know, maybe recreate the character models from scratch, just the animations from scratch. Well, I have zero experience drawing and animating, so how do I do that? I found out about this program called Live 2D, and you could download this 100% for free, and I watched a few tutorials. The basic idea of this is that it allows you to animate character models. So this is actually the tutorial I watched at the time, and you can see that the character model itself moves. So I'm like, you know something, if this could animate character models relatively easily, and if I could just get it to some level so that way it's not the static models anymore, whatever, that would be fine. From there, turns out that took way too long, and that was way too complicated. So from there, I progressed to, you know something, maybe I could hack a green screen into the game. If I could hack a green screen into the game, that would make it that I could just rip the animations directly. That was the effectively the latest update of the Neptunia cutscene maker, which that version was never released, version 3.0, but version 4.0 was released. It's just because it didn't have a significant physical like addition to it. Version 4.0 though had a whole new program along with it. So it was the Neptunia cutscene maker version 4.1.2. This is publicly available on my GitHub page, by the way. And this is the program. So this took me around 2 months to make, but you have to keep in mind I had basically no experience with programming. So I went from no experience with programming to being able to make this in around 2 months. You also have to keep in mind, though, that when I say 2 months, I mean I was basically working on it for around 5 to 8 hours a day every single day for that 2-month period. And that's simply because of the fact that I needed to learn programming for my future. So my mindset was, okay, it's worth it for me to spend the kind of time to make this so that way I can learn programming. Now this is pretty simple. So what you do is you type in the text, press enter, it appears up there as a preview, and you could do up to 100 dialogue per section. You could adjust the text speed, the on and off screen time, you can make corrections, basic stuff like that. From there, there is a barely functional preview screen which allows you to change the backgrounds and put like 1 or 2 character models on screen. However, there is nothing else to this. What that means is that I could just get the text to scroll here, but the problem is that nothing will actually happen after that. This model will stay on screen the entire time and it doesn't even move. Because of that, it's pretty useless. Because of that, and what happens is after you go to this section, you have the whole thing go across this green screen over here, and you screen record it, bring it into a video editor, and you use the mods that I mentioned before that you hack a green screen into the game in order to grab the character animations. From there, all you have to do is you put it all together and you manually recreate the cutscenes, and frankly, it's not that difficult once you figure out the issues. So there's a ton of issues you have to work out that can make it very difficult. All this is simply because of the fact that the character models move. I'm not even joking. All that is because of that one factor. Now, if I can make it that the character models don't move, that eliminates 90% of the complexity, and that's where we get to the SAO cutscene maker. So the SAO cutscene maker at its fundamental core is much simpler because SAO as a game, the character models don't move. What's interesting though is that just because they don't move doesn't mean they don't have motion. Let me just pull up the actual SAO assets. just because the characters don't move doesn't mean they don't have motion. Also, interesting, I have 7 viewers, also tons of comments. Okay, I was too busy talking that I didn't see the comments. Live 2D was 2.0 was buggy. Yes, it was. Live 2D is so 2.0 was so annoying. Stone statue. I'm fine with long explanations, but how much longer is this going to take? I'm almost done. Don't worry. Sorry, I didn't notice comments before. Anyways, when I managed to get my hands on the SAO character models, what's interesting is right over here that just because they don't move doesn't mean they don't have motion. So how the game works is, and it's really interesting. So you can see over here, this is a model of Egil, and he has various faces that he could swap in and out. So what the game does is it takes the facial models and it puts, let's say, this model over the actual like this face over the model itself, and then in order to do lip sync, all it does is it adjusts the lip flaps, which is very interesting. Now, because nothing is actually moving and all you're doing is that you're swapping things in and out, what that does is that's very easy for me to replicate because there's no actual animation involved. I can't animate, but I could easily just tell the program, hey, put this asset in front of this asset, and what I could do is I can create a program that will effectively do that for me, that I tell it I want it to do X, Y, and Z, that I want to spawn in this character model at this time frame. And then by doing it, I could automate the entire thing rather than having to have a video editor handle it all for me and having to manually do it all in a video editor. That's why with this program, once it's completed, any moron in the world will be able to do their own SAO style cutscenes with relative ease and with zero experience whatsoever. So the first thing is first, right over here is the text scroll. Now, while this is fundamentally exactly the same in terms of functionality versus the Neptunia cutscene maker, I reworked the entire code from scratch, and the reason for that is because the code from the Neptunia cutscene maker was a complete buggy mess and I did not know what I was doing. So I reworked everything from scratch to the point that it's working. I need to get rid of that though. This was a prototype build of the thing I'm working on right now. There's a tutorial that I'm still working on, and basically it works exactly the same. New to the text editor, though, is the ability to save and load text. Now, there are still some glitches with that, so it's going to be a bit buggy, but it works at a fundamental level, which is what's interesting. So now what you could do is you could insert whatever text you want the characters to say, and then from there, you can now, because I'm working on the next part now, and I'll show you. So right over here, this is going to be the editor room itself. So I'm probably going to change the colors. Again, this right here, I made in an hour and a half earlier today. So this is not the final look of how it's actually going to look, okay? But I'm just trying to get everything to a functional degree, and then I'm going to work on how it actually looks. But right over here, what's going to happen is, and what's interesting actually is that, let's say I go over here with Egil, and it's like that this with a lot of the character models, so anything from Lost Song has this, that they have just the character heads of some of the characters. So what I could do is I could put that Egil face right over here, and I can make it that, you know something, you click on that face, then it's going to appear over here. Once it appears over here, then the options window over here, you set the details of exactly how you want the scene to play out. Then once you want to preview it, you go over here. The reason I have it like this is to mimic the functions of a video editor. So if I open Sony Vegas, you'll get a better understanding of what I mean by that. Just opening up. Let's go. So if you look at Sony Vegas, this is a video I'm working on actually. This video actually I put a preview out yesterday, which is interesting. But if you look at Sony Vegas, how it works is that there is let me just set it up in a way that you can see what I mean. So there's the timeline section over here, the preview section over here, various other aspects over here, and there's something like track motion over here, which allows me to do some motion and stuff like that. Now, what I'm trying to show off here is the fact that each function has its own distinct window. Now, in Sony Vegas, I could resize things, I could move things around, general stuff like that. I am not good at coding by any stretch of the imagination, so because of that, I cannot replicate that even if I tried. What I'm just trying to do is replicate that same idea. Now, keep in mind, my friend gave me this idea, so yeah, credit to him. But the idea is to replicate the idea that each distinct area has its own purpose to it. So just like the tracks area over here, this area is effectively like the various tracks. Then in terms of, so something like this, the track motion, this would effectively be the track motion, various aspects like that. I'm sure you get the idea. So this is going to be for character placement, character selection, as well as face selection and background selection, and then probably more things later down the line, options that let you manipulate everything, and then this is going to be the preview screen if you want to see how it's all currently looking. Now that we have that out of the way, now I could get on to the coding, because you have a general understanding of where I'm at, what the project's at, and everything like that. But before I get started, I do also want to show off one more thing. I have a dedicated artist, actually like 2 dedicated artists that are helping me with this. I want to give them both a shout out actually, but I want to show off their work. So this is SAO. He's really helping me a lot. So I'm trying to, the first project I'm going to make with this is a full adaptation of the SAO Sisters Prayer book, which is a short story written by Reki Kawahara that serves effectively as a prequel to the Mother's Rosario arc. So I'm having him draw some character models that I will be using in the thing, characters that I simply can't rip from the SAO games. I mean, just look at this. Just look at how amazing this guy is. Like, look at this. This is amazing. This looks like it's straight out of an actual game. So seriously, thank you. And then also, the other guy that's helping me right now is where is it? J Blue Y. So this guy, he didn't actually submit anything. I mean, actually, technically he did, but he is on and off working different things. But both of them are helping me a lot with this. And Jason also did the actual thing over here for the manga panel for this video. So yeah, go subscribe to both of them. I'm pretty sure I'll do something, whatever. Ace the Neko commented, do you think you'll ever make your own game like Toby Fox? I want to. Here, I'll say that I do want to. I am currently working with a brand new startup indie studio. I don't know what I can and can't say about it, really. It's a very startup, and I am learning everything with that. In the long-term future, I want to make a game. I have a couple game ideas, but I don't really want to go too much in depth with that. Also, in case you just joined the stream like a few minutes ago or whatever, at the start of the video, I actually showed off that I have the original save file for Undertale. So speaking of Toby Fox, yeah, go check out the beginning of the stream if you want to see. I didn't really go through it. I just like showed off, hey, I have the actual original game files for Undertale. So yeah, now we can actually get this stream started though. So yeah, also yeah, Jason, thank you so much for everything. Let me just put my music back on right now. If you're curious, I am listening to Real because Real is awesome. Anyways, let me divide up my second monitor so that way I could view comments and everything. Also, 4 likes on this video and 7 watches. Thank you guys so much. Also, side note, the video from a few days ago on the Monica Real thing, that thing blew up. I would just have to give like $10 to charity because I promise if that thing gets over 10k views, I'll do it. I'm probably gonna like do a video like showing that that I actually gave the money to charity. So, what is the thing I'm working on right now? So, the code for this function's pretty simple. So, right now there is a check going on, so I'll show you the actual code. So first let's close all the windows, and here, so event 2, step event. So first there is a section of code right over here. What this is doing is it's checking which section of the screen my mouse is in. So what's interesting about this is, let me just run the code again. I don't know why I closed it, to be honest. So look over here. So there's 4 distinct sections. Now the question I have for you guys is, how do you know which section you're in? Like, what? Because the program needs to understand which section you're clicking so that way you can do various aspects or various things I'll get into later. But how would it know that? Obviously I could create like an invisible object, and if you click on that invisible object, then it will do that. But to be honest, it's kind of a waste to do something like that. So instead what I did is, and because the areas are never changing in size, I did something interesting. So you can use a function called mouse_x and mouse_y to get the actual position of the mouse. So by default at the game, so at the top left corner is 0, 0, and at the bottom right corner is 1920 by 1080. Because of that, I can use some interesting tricks. What I could do is, if mouse X is less than 960, which is half of 1920, and mouse Y is half of 540, which is half of 1080, meaning the 1/4 of the screen, then it understands I'm in one section, and then I just replicate that for all 4 of the other sections. So if you know anything about the code, you'll understand that. Basically, the full thing is 1920 by 1080, so half of that is 960, and half the other way is 540. So if it's less than 960, then it's over here, and if it's less than 540, it's also over here. But if it's greater than 960 and greater than 940, it's over here, and then the things in between. You guys should get the idea from there. So that will allow me to understand which section the cursor is actually in. And in addition to that, I also have a current window thing, so that way both the user as well as myself during troubleshooting can understand what exactly is going on. So what am I doing now? Where did I leave off, actually? So I left off with the selector. Right now, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to create the system needed in order to... How should I describe this? When I mentioned before about the character heads right over here, that you put in the character heads, and that if you double click it or single click it or whatever it is, then it will do something, whatever. Okay, so if selection is -1, then debug, selection is 0, then whatever. This will simply allow me to do certain things. So the section right over here just tells it. You know what, I'll get into that after. Okay, so how am I going to progress from here is the question. So I think I'm going to take it simple to start out with. So if window equals 0, if not exists... Wait, so what section then? Character selection. Okay, character selection, face... Oh, okay. Okay, I see. So I need to switch this to section. So if section equals 0, if not instance exists head _ Yuki, instance create depth, and then it's going to create the thing. Now, what am I doing over here? So I have a Yuki head somewhere. Let me see if I can find that. Here. Character heads, sprite _ Yuki, and for some reason it's gone. Okay, let me just grab that. Okay, characters, and let's go to Yuki, and the reason I'm starting out with Yuki is because Yuki is objectively best girl, fight me. Anyways, let's just drag that in, and that should be that. Now, what happens from here? So, that is 189 by 147. I might want to resize it, so that way it's just uniform. Let's do to 200. Yeah, so 200 would probably be better. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go into the room and manually place that in there, so that way I see how much room I'm working with. Okay, 200 is way too big. So let's switch it to 100. Oh, shoot. Okay, that should probably be good. Yep, 100 is good. Now the idea is, okay, you know something, now you have that character head right over there. Now I'm going to probably have more character heads, so let's just, what's the thing again for it? I think it's, shoot, yeah, okay. I just want to see how many heads I can fit. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I can fit 8, and then 1, 2, 3. Let's say 8 by 4. 8 times 4 is 32. So I could fit a whopping 32. Or at least a 32 is a minimum. Another player said I'm eating carbs and nutrients right now. Okay, have fun with that. Yeah, I didn't mean that like a disrespectful. I'm like, I'm just trying to like come up with a response. Okay, here we go. So, by the way, if anyone has any questions on the code, just let me know, and I will answer any questions you have. I know that this is a lot more in-depth than a lot of people might be used to if you don't really know anything about code, but it is what it is. Okay. What I need to do here is, under selector, I need to create a new group for heads. And then let's create a new object, head underscore Yuki1. The reason I'm doing 1 is because there's different character sprites. Characters, Yuki. Okay. Now, all that's going to happen for now at least, is that it's going to spawn it in. I don't want to do anything more than that. But first I need the coordinates. Okay, so that should be good. And what's the coordinates? That is 1965 by 55. Okay, so the x is, wait, 19? No, this should be 9. Yeah, it's 9. Why did I say 19? Okay, 9. Oh, shoot. Okay. 965 by, I think it was 45. Was it either 45 or 55? Okay, it was 55. 965 by 55 by, and I'm going to do it as -11, and then the object is head underscore Yuki1. Now what that should do, plain and simply, is that if an instance does not exist of that object, it creates one. So when the room spawns up, it's simply going to create that object. Now, this isn't a step event, so it loops every frame of the game. However, because this is happening, because it's checking if the instance doesn't exist, and it's only doing it if it doesn't exist, it's not going to just infinitely spawn Yuki heads, as much as I would love it for there to be an infinite amount of Yukis. Okay, that sounds so weird. Okay. Now, the idea here is, okay, if not instance exists, head underscore Yuki. Now that I have that, what I need to do is I need to do the code for Yuki. So let's do a create and a step event. I don't know if I need the create event, but whatever. Okay, so the step event will be if collision check? No, collision point. I always confuse that. Okay, mouse x comma mouse y comma obj underscore. Actually, would self work? I'm curious. Would that work? Comma. That would make things easier. True, false. I am curious if that actually works. I've never tried that, that's why. Okay. If mouse check button press MB underscore left. I'll explain what this does in a second. Okay. Now what that's gonna do is let's just create a random instance just for the sake of seeing if it works. Instance create depth 960 540. The depth, let's do as -1000, just so it's literally above everything, and obj underscore, literally just a random thing. Okay. Because I just want to test this to make sure it's actually working. Now, if I click this, it didn't work. That's why you test things. Okay. So in that case, I'm going to do head underscore Yuki1. And let's test that now. Still not working. If collision point. The question is, why isn't it working? Why is that not working? Begin step. I don't know what begin step does. I've never used that before. That probably was what was causing the issue. Nope, still didn't work. Okay, then the question is, why is that not working? Wait, oh, I think I actually know why it's not working. Okay, let me switch the object to literally something that I cannot possibly miss. Object underscore edit screen overlay. That's something I can't possibly miss. Yep, that works. Okay, I think it was destroying it because of some weird quirk. Okay. But I know now for a fact that that works. So, now that that is working, what I want to do is that. How should I go about this next? Okay. I want to be that if you click it, that it will create the character model in the correct area. So let's create a new group, character models. And then let's create a new sprite, spr underscore yuki1. Also, let me change this name to head1. Okay, let's go to, let me get rid of this, and here, lost song, let's go with normal Yuki. Okay, here we go. Now that that is up and running, what I do is that, let me just bring it into the room, see how big it actually is. Yeah, I think that's a bit too big. It's literally bigger than the screen itself. Okay. So let's say the default would be... Actually, let me just check the info. Yeah, the height is 1080, so I don't know why it's so big. Let's do it at 1280 times 720. Let's do... Wait. Okay. 720. Okay, 720 is way too small. Okay, 960 maybe, let's try. Yeah, 960 is fine. Okay, so if I do it as 960 and it is 1/4 of the screen. Wow, I'm losing a ton of viewers for some reason. Okay, whatever, it is what it is. I mean, I am coding. This is not the most appealing thing in the world. Okay, so now the issue is going to be a bit tricky. Okay. How am I going to go about this? Okay. Instance create depth. So it would be 960. No, wait. Okay, the X would be... Okay, so it's... Normally I have to offset it by 960. So let's say, for example, I would type in 500. So it would be 960 minus 500. Okay, wait. Okay. Let me open it up and take a look. Okay, so let's say this was the full thing. It subtracts 960. The reason for that is because, so that way, it would make 0 equal to, no, it has to add 960 maybe? Yeah, it adds 960, that's what it does. Because if I, yeah, so it has to add 960. So let me write this down. Normal offset by plus 960. Example, 960 plus 300 equals, what is that? It's like 1260. Okay, now in this case it's a fourth of the screen. X, and then Y normally would be 1080, I think. No. And then the new one, the X and the Y, so the Y would be 540, no questions. The X would have to be offset by 480, I think. Wow, I basically lost all my viewers. Okay, whatever. So let's do it at 480 by 540 at 1000, and let's do here, create object and add group, characters, okay, obj underscore yuki1. .480 by 540, 1000, and obj underscore yuki1, and then obj underscore yuki1 dot image x scale equals 0.5, and then obj underscore yuki1 dot image y scale equals 0.5. That should do it, I think. Okay, kind of worked. Oh, okay, that's why, because I need to do it at bottom center. And then it should work no problem. Bingo. Okay. That worked perfect. Okay. Okay, so trying to think. Okay, window 0 selection section 0 blah blah blah. Okay, so now I have to get the systems up and running in order, so that way what it does is that it primes everything. So it's going to be over here probably. Okay. Options. obj underscore sub underscore options. Okay, now how is this going to work? I'm also going to need a draw event. Okay. Now first off, let's drag this in. Okay, so first off, if global dot subsection equals selector let's just start off with it being selector or global dot no wait, okay. Okay, how am I gonna do this? It's that the issue is it also checks with options. I could get rid of options entirely, but then I also have to do that can cause some issues. I can have it that understands the last one it was, but that would be a pain, and I don't think that's necessary. There has to be an easier way. If I did an and, that would just be dumb. If I did an or. The question is how to deal with that, because it's going to start off as selector and then it's going to go to options. If global dot maybe I could do that all it does is spawn it in. That would be the smart idea. Yeah, I think that would be the smart idea. But then when it comes to the draw event, that can cause some problems. Or I can create a lock system actually. If global dot subsection equals selector, lock equals selector. Yeah, that'll do it actually. Else if global dot subsection equals, where are the other sections? Placement, lock equals placement. Else if global dot subsection equals what was the last one? Preview. Preview lock equals preview. The idea here is that even if I click options, it won't go to options, like it won't screw things up, because I'm going to check the lock rather than the actual location of the mouse. Okay. Now, if lock equals, what do I want to be equal to? Equal to selector okay, so if lock equals selector, then it does some code. So what code do I want that to be? First, I'm going to need an input box. Maybe I'll just do all this in the draw event, actually. I think that would be the best idea. If lock equals blah blah blah, and I'm going to do depth equals minus 100 and minus 101. So okay. Let's take a look at how it is currently looking. Okay, let's start with what's gonna happen is that I need a box over here. Now I could just do raw text, but that would cause some problems. I couldn't do an arrow system, but that would also probably cause some problems. How would I go about this? Maybe I could just create a smaller box. Maybe I could do the pixel, actually. That would be interesting. Yeah, I could probably just stretch out that pixel. Okay, let's try that. obj underscore sprite test question equals obj, wait, no, instance create depth. Let's do 1,600 minus 100 obj underscore sprite test question dot image x scale equals 300. Oh, that works. Okay. Test question dot image underscore y scale equals 300. if not instance exists. Okay, also I need test question equals -4. I think that should work. Else instance destroy test question. That should do it. Let's see if that works. And it didn't work. Okay. Okay, let's get rid of the if statement in that case. Okay, so is the depth too low? Let's try that. Doesn't appear to be the case. Then what can be going on? Let's just try an instance create depth in that case. And let's just do this. Let's try that. That should work. If lock is selector, then should create it. I'll try changing it to something else just to test that. obj underscore edit screen overlay. Okay, so it's not working with the sprite for some reason. Could be that just too small. Okay, looks like that's probably not going to work, I guess. I might as well test this, though. Let's see our... oh. that's what's happening. Okay, that does work. Okay, it does work, which is good to know. Okay, let me open Photoshop. Here we go. So, how should I handle this? I could just have alternate rows of things. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go that route, alternate rows. Why is it doing in inches? How do I change it to pixels? No, whatever, doesn't matter. Where's the ruler here? $50 is fine. Okay. Now let's duplicate that. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy that down, and I'm gonna make that one more gray. Text line G. is it going? Oh, there. Text line W. Let's inverse and crop it. Okay, done with that. SPR underscore text. Okay. What the? Got text. Doesn't matter. Okay. Text. What did I name it? Okay, text line. Okay. Oop, shoot. Okay. SPR underscore text line white. SPR underscore text line gray. OJ underscore text line gray. OBJ underscore text line white. Okay, so what is going on? Stinking YouTube. What is going on? Why is it using zero network? Piece of junk. Okay, here. You piece of junk website, YouTube. Like seriously, look at this. Look at this. It just doesn't even want to load. Could it be because my VPN is on? That's slowing things down maybe? I don't know. In the future I should probably turn off my VPN when streaming, but I don't want to knock out the whole stream if I turn it off, so whatever. Okay, so here. Okay. If object is selector, if not instance exists. Placement. Whoa. Q underscore placement lock. Q underscore placement lock. Q underscore placement lock. Okay. OBJ underscore text line white. 960 whatever, blah blah blah. Oh. What the? Oh, that's why. Oh. Q underscore placement lock dot image underscore x scale equals 0.5. Perfect. Okay. Let's do 965. $964. Perfect. Okay. Region placement lock and region. Okay, draw text. 970, comma 600, comma test 1 2 3. draw set font underscore selector menu draw set color C underscore black. Sub underscore up. Sub options underscore line. Let's try that. Hey, got a viewer back. Welcome. So, lots of progress being made. Okay, it doesn't really look like it made much of a difference. Let's put it to 22. That should probably make a difference. If it doesn't make a difference, then something's wrong. Okay, it did make a difference. Perfect. So I need to just lower it a little. Let's do it at 6:10 maybe. I think that might be a bit too much, but it's worth a shot. Oh, that, okay. So let's do 590. Yeah, 590 is good. Wait. Oh, shoot. Oh, okay. Wait, did I screw something up? I think I screwed something up. Yeah, I screwed something up. Okay, so this is 6:10. Perfect. Okay. Font underscore sub set font. Okay, so that is working. Now Zev test 1 2 3 character location. So you input the character location. Yeah, I think that's a bit too big is the one thing. Let's set the height as, first off, let's do the width as 950 and the height let's do as 40. We'll just look at that now. Okay, even at 40 it's still too big. Yep, that's good. Okay. Actually, let me do 35. Let me move it up by a few. Perfect. Okay. Now I need to create an input script. Yeah, I need to create an input script. And script underscore options input. Okay. So basically I just need to get the input and do something with it. Okay. Input equals a blank string. Okay. If keyboard no, let me change it actually. You know what, here, I have an idea. Input type. Oh shoot, that's a okay. Input type equals okay. Region spawn slash despawn junk. Input check thing. If keyboard, wait, no, if okay, if mb underscore left. Okay, click on object code. Okay, if collision point blah blah blah, the object is q underscore input selector. If lock equals selector collision point. Okay, shoot, what's going on with the stream? You know, it's 12:40 at night. I think I'm gonna end the stream. Whatever, I'll see you guys later. Been streaming for an hour and a half anyways.